All right, we should be live any second now. And drink this god-awful coffee from Tim Hortons. Not a sponsor. Never be a sponsor because your coffee sucks, Tim Hortons.
Okay, it's ready. It's
Sorry,
on. I can see us. I can see us.
It's ready? Okay.
I have not got.
Yeah, I think you dropped the F-bomb in the first 5 seconds, honestly.
Fuck.
Did I? Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
You know, the nice thing about AI is it probably can't determine what you just said, Chard.
Good.
That's what we like. All right. Now we're ready.
I are here.
All right, let's start recording OBS.
Hey, press B to cancel zone, guys. You better hurry this up so I can watch it.
I'm glad somebody watches the podcast.
Because I'm on this episode, so I'm going to watch it because I'm on this episode.
I
Look,
always
man,
have coffee.
I edit the fucking thing. What do you want from me?
I always have coffee when I watch the radar.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
What's this? Oh, it's direct to. It's
What's all this
direct to
churning
rental.
and bubbling?
It's direct to rental. Where's this? This is now. When? Then? No, just now. When?
Just now. You're looking at now.
All right, guys.
When will then be now? Soon.
I got a letter.
What is this? Is that a receipt?
Letter. No, it's a letter.
Did you return the game that we're going to talk about today?
Oh. Do you want me to read this letter or not? You're going to just slam the game before I even said what it is? Or am I going to read this letter?
EB Games wants their fucking game back.
Look, man, how often do we get fan mail? Almost never, right?
Okay.
So let me read the damn letter.
Fan mail from your daughters.
Look,
we written in crayon.
We have fans. Fuck off. Look,
Zimbabwe.
there's at least one in Brazil who likes us. All right. Dear Press B, I am just 6 years old, and I'm a mega fan of your podcast.
They should not be watching this show. This is incorrect.
Look, they're a mega fan. Just cut down the F-bombs because we have children listening. I want to tell you about my all-time favorite game, Super Mario RPG. It's the coolest game ever, and I can't get enough of it. The game has the most amazing colors and pictures, and you go on such big adventures. And the characters are super awesome. Mario is my hero because he's brave and saves the day, just like you, Sinistar. But my favorite is Princess Peach. She's not just pretty, she's smart, just like you, Chard. Please talk about Super Mario RPG on your show. It's the best game, and I want everyone to know how cool it is and how much you really love it at Press B. Hugs and 5 fives. Sincerely, Lily from Purple Mountains, Missouri.
Today
Super Mario RPG, a game that nobody, and I mean nobody, hates. Today on. Don't talk over the kids' dreams.
You can't listen. You can't make me laugh that hard. I have a migraine now. Holy God.
All right. This week. This is an episode we've been wanting to do for a few weeks now. And we'll get to why in a minute. But I'm not alone. Although I wish I might have been this week. I'm joined by two chuckleheads over here. And Chard. Chard, in one word, tell me how much you love Super Mario RPG.
One word?
Just one word.
Soup.
Soup?
Soup.
Yes, all the characters and colorful cast is a soup of deliciousness. You're right. No, Sinistar, how you doing? And in one word, tell me why you like Super Mario RPG.
You hear him talking over me when I'm trying to explain myself? That's fine. No, we'll play this game.
Okay, one word?
Mm-hmm.
One word, huh? Okay. Member berries.
Yes, I have fond remember berries of Super Mario RPG. It's just a nostalgia trip all around. Guys, Super Mario RPG, just for those who are under a rock and you don't know, this is the game that came out in 96. And this is where you had Nintendo, Super Mario, and they combined it with the RPG mechanics from Square. Square developed the game with a lot of guidance from Nintendo. This was like a match like just a match made in heaven when you're a teenager with a SNES. Like really, you're taking the RPG mechanics from the masters of Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI, like fantastic games, and you're taking Mario, who doesn't love Mario, and you're putting it together into one game. This was amazing, and this is a game that I never thought we'd ever see a sequel to or a re-release from. And the main reason why is because Nintendo and Square kind of had this weird history after the 16-bit era. This is why we never saw Final Fantasy on a GameCube or Wii, really, except for that Crystal Chronicles nonsense. So they kind of had a falling out. Yeah, so I'm really surprised that they just announced a couple weeks ago during Nintendo Direct, they are remaking Super Mario RPG for the Switch. Comes out later this year. Couldn't be more surprised. This is one of those ones on the bingo card I never thought would happen, but it is. So I thought it was a good opportunity to go back and look at the original Super Mario RPG on the SNES. It is, honestly, I think it's one of the best RPGs out there. I mean, is it better than Final Fantasy VI? No. Is it better than Chrono Trigger? No. But it's clearly better than Secret of Mana and half the other shit that came out on that console. So I think it's a great RPG. I would like to start with, I don't even know where to begin. I know you guys love it so much.
I want to respond to something you said. I want to respond to something
well, you go ahead and start, Sister. How much? Tell me why I'm wrong.
So you said, you know, it was a marriage made in heaven, or something. I'm paraphrasing, but like you said, Square and Nintendo got together, Final Fantasy and Mario. How many movies where they throw in a whole bunch of like AAA actors are good? They actually become dumpster fires when it's too many high quality names.
What are you talking about? The Expendables is a phenomenal series.
Yeah. You hate the Expendables now too? What's wrong with you? You don't like Stallone? For shame.
No, he's fine.
For shame.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, A-list.
I mean, this is not Smash Brothers. This is Super Mario RPG. So we got one franchise, Mario, with RPG mechanics. So I can understand what you're saying when you have the ensemble cast in some movies, but I mean, Ocean's 11 is one of the greatest movies of all time, and that was an ensemble cast.
But Ocean's 12, which brought in more, and Ocean's 13, which brought in more, were subpar.
Well, we're certainly lucky we didn't get any sequels to Mario RPG, aren't we? The closest we got. I know people will say the Super Mario RPG is what got us to Paper Mario. But that's actually a completely different team. Some of the staff that worked on Mario RPG actually ended up starting their own studio, and they made Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga, I think they're called. And there's a few of those, and I've heard nothing but good things. I have not played them, but I've heard they're good. But really, in terms of are
we talking the mobile games like Bowser's Inside Story and whatever the Dream one?
I think so.
Those because
they're on GBA. I know there's one on GBA.
There was one on the NDS.
When you say mobile, do you mean
handheld? I mean DS, NDS,
handheld.
Clarify, because if you say mobile, I think phone.
No. Sorry, handheld Nintendo consoles, because those were fantastic games. Absolutely front to back. I've loved those games.
So why do you like those?
Even Paper Mario is a strong series.
So, okay, I want to clear the air here. I do not hate Super Mario RPG. There are aspects I really strongly dislike, but I think if somebody wants to enjoy it and play it, they absolutely should. There are games that I would tell people not to. Circus Charlie. And so Balloon Fight, yeah. Ice Climbers.
Wily Wars.
Okay, but
the list is long.
But
all of my childhood favorites. Fuck you guys, but that's okay.
I won't tell anybody don't play Super Mario RPG. But if you want my opinion on it, I think it's repetitive. I think it's redundant. I think its story is shallow. I think the music is fantastic. The first 600 times you hear 4 bars of song. And then 601 of 4 bars of song, and you're like, turn this fucking shit off. Oh, and the whistle. Don't get me started on the whistle.
Beep, 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 beep,
yeah.
beep, beep,
oh,
beep,
dear
beep,
God.
Beep, beep.
Like,
okay.
You know,
the tadpole pond,
here's the thing. So Battletoads, which I know you're working through. Battletoads, the pause music is super repetitive. And they did that on purpose. They did that on purpose because they didn't ever want you to feel comfortable.
Hold on.
Not music.
No.
Let's clarify it's not music.
The Battletoads pause music is one of the biggest jams on the NES. What are you kidding me? I know it's like
not a song. It's a beat. It's not a song. It's missing everything else to make it a
Jay-Z
song.
could drop bars in that song and you'd love it. No, there's not like
if he dropped bars in it, then it'd be a song. Right now, it's a beat.
Well, it's still a catchy beat.
Don't tell me it's music. It's not music.
They did it on purpose. They did that short repetitiveness on purpose to make sure that you didn't feel comfortable even when you were paused. So let's carry that over to Super Mario RPG, where every single battle has the same song that's 4 bars.
Look, not every battle, just 95% of them have that song.
99% of them.
Yeah, but not all of them. Let's spit facts here, okay? Let's just not say everything here. We don't want to misinform the audience listening and watching this episode.
All right.
Yes.
I've been playing this game literally every day on my Steam Deck trying to get the goddamn achievements for this, so you guys don't have to come along for the ride for all the achievements. There's like 2 songs in this whole goddamn game.
I agree.
That's it.
Okay,
and then at least 4.
And then there's a different variation of the same song later where they add more whistle to the song. I mean, it's the same song. You're like, oh, I know this song. Why do I know this song? Oh, I heard it in the last screen. That's why.
So I'm gonna lay this out plain and simple. Is there are games? Well, okay, I'm gonna lay it out from TV. We did an episode on DuckTales, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have tried to go back and watch DuckTales.
Woohoo!
And as an adult, it's bad. It's bad.
The original
from Nostalgia Classics, yeah. It's bad. Go watch it again. Trust me.
Okay.
It's hard to watch. I've tried to watch G.I. Joe. I've tried to watch Thundercats. I've tried to watch Transformers. I've tried to watch, and they are.
Do not besmirch the good name of Transformers on this. On this,
if GP was here, he'd spit on your face right now. Like you.
Hold on. The movie holds up, but the movie holds up because it was adult. It was made as an adult show. The movie holds up. But when you're talking the made-for-television cartoon, like, they are bad. They are, but my nostalgia glasses are strong for them. You know what? I'm going to point at my background here. Bard's Tale 2. My favorite Bard's Tale game. Jeremy, my brother, and I played through this. Its ending is bad. It's bad. And I can admit it because I'm an adult. It's bad.
It's a bad game and you should feel bad.
It's bad, but my nostalgia glasses are still strong for it.
All right.
I don't have nostalgia glasses for Super Mario RPG. I played it the first time like 2 years ago. I played 3/4 of the way through it and put it away. I was so tired of hearing that battle music. I was so tired.
Right,
I was so tired of Gino. I was so tired of Mallow.
He's on a roll, bro.
Yeah.
This train.
Like,
this train's going through.
For me, I don't have the nostalgia. But if you want to enjoy it, please. It's not, as far as a game goes, it's playable, it's entertaining, but it's super repetitive and the story is super weak.
All right. You said a lot. We got to unpack some of this. We want to start with the music. Let's start with the music.
I don't get a chance to put my opinion in to add to the pile?
You can go right after me, but I want to talk about the music. Let's separate into the music. The music is repetitive. It is a JRPG. How many RPGs from that era? I'm not talking fucking Final Fantasy 14. How many have more than 4 tracks?
I've never felt Chrono Trigger has driven me bonkers with the music because I have enjoyed it from front to back. Even when I'm in battle, even when I'm in the same area, Chrono Trigger has more than 4 bars per song.
Jared, what do you think about the music?
I think it's repetitive. I really, I'm disappointed in it. But my deal with it is that, like Sinistar said, it's just it's repetitive for one, which is fine. I've never been a huge fan of like Donkey Kong country music at all, and this has a lot of that style of the the steel drums and the whistles and all that stuff. It just has that that feel to it, and I just never got into it. And I like my RPGs to be dark and fairly and have and have some emotion other than
but Mallow's story is dark. He's just a trashy character.
He cries all the damn time. What's wrong with you? That's just gritty and dark. What do you want, man?
The music is very upbeat and poppy, and I don't know. It's
a Mario game.
It's not. it's not Mario. Bad. Well, that's the thing. Mario is supposed to be fairly short games, right? For the most part. I mean, my favorite music, so sort of like this. I think my two favorite Mario game musics are 3 and World. Those are killer, and I think 2's real good too. But even so, I don't know. There seems like there's more depth in those games soundtrack than an RPG that's supposed to be in all, whatever's. It's supposed to be epic, right? And even the composer who did the music is an epic composer. And your quote about Secret of Mana being a meh game compared to this, you're freaking high, dude. Mana is dope, and the music
not compared to this. Mana is overrated, man.
Killer. Oh wow!
And I love Final Fantasy Adventure on the Game Boy, and that's a Mana game. But Secret of Mana on SNES is a trash get to anyway. That's different. That's a whole other episode.
Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers.
I request you slow your roll, sir.
Super Mario Brothers 1. I never got tired of the music, and I think what it is that there's enough diversity. Because they are short levels. There are short levels. And so it changes continuously. You go from above ground to below ground to but the problem is you jump into Super Mario RPG and you've got these 10-minute fights where it's repeating 4 bars of music for 10 minutes.
Okay. Super Mario Brothers, the original, has 3 fucking songs, sir. Like 4 if you count the super invincibility power up.
Oh, Overworld 4. Yeah, I said 4. Overworld, Underground, Water, Stark Power. That's it. But you know what?
Yeah. Okay.
Still didn't get annoyed. Okay.
It's because it's in bite-sized pieces. It's not 10 minutes.
Okay. Wolf is not here this week, but he did want us to mention that Yoka Shimura, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, is the composer of the music for Super Mario RPG. He doesn't like the music in this game either, but he wanted to point out that composer, though, also did Legend of Mana and also did Kingdom Hearts as well. So, absolutely legendary composer. I mean, a lot of people love Kingdom Hearts music. Maybe not the best work in Super Mario RPG. Maybe just there wasn't enough space on the cartridge, because this is a packed cartridge. I know this is a cartridge. They use that. What's that called?
Shit.
It's okay. Hold on, man. Just slow your roll. Okay.
I agree with. With Jake right now. I agree with Jake right now because it's all those rendered graphics which are not small. Those sprites are not small.
I saw a window. I took it. Okay.
Just jabbing the knife into my throat. I know how it is. You saw a Circus Charlie moment and you just took him down. Circus Charlie. So it has the SA1 chip, which is an interesting chip for those who don't know. It's like basically it's like 4 times the processing power, and they can add it to certain cartridges. It makes the cart more expensive, but it's not like this is the only RPG cartridge that was expensive back in the day. So they did use that. And it was mostly for the graphics. So maybe they were limited on space in the cartridge. They couldn't fit all that music. I agree with you guys. Yes, the battle music, I wish there was more of it. I don't think it's a bad song. I do wish it was maybe more variety in it, but I don't think it's that bad. I thought the boss battle music was okay. I thought that was interesting, but it's also a Mario game. Mario music is not going to be freaking like 9 Inch Nails. Okay, it's Mario, not Trent Reznor. Okay, it's Mallow, not Kurt Cobain.
I'm looking for Square Enix music, and I didn't get it.
You know, the composer that did the music for Mario RPG also wrote our favorite hit single, "Hurt."
It's just a shame that it got ripped off by Linkin Park. I tell you, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
And Kurt Cobain and Disturbed
and Disturbed. So
we're gonna get so much shit.
I am with you guys. The music not being so fantastic. I get it. Let's look at the graphics. All right. So I can't stand Donkey Kong Country. I hate Donkey Kong Country. I don't think its graphics stand up today. And I think part of that maybe is the lack of scan lines on modern displays, or maybe just I don't like that pre-rendered style. And I thought going back to Super Mario RPG, watching you play chart, I thought I wouldn't like the graphics of this game. And I'm not a fan of that style, but I think it still works. And I still think it holds up. There's enough variety in the enemies and the sprites and the backgrounds. It doesn't feel like it's tiles. It feels like it's quite a nicely designed world. So this is one of those areas where I think as visually, I think it's a pretty decent looking game. What do you guys think?
No complaints visually.
Yeah. I appreciate. I don't like DKC either. I'm not a Donkey Kong fan by any stretch of the imagination. But I did like Super Clay Fighters on the Super Nintendo. And a lot. Now, hold on. Just follow me on this ride. When I see these pre-rendered things, they remind me of clay animation. And I think just the style, like just the look of it reminds me of like kind of a clay animation look. And I think that I like that. So, not being somebody that has any nostalgia for this game, because I literally just picked it up like 2 weeks ago. So Jake has nostalgia memory for it. Sinistar played it a few years back and doesn't have the same, and I just started it to see what the big deal was. So we've got some pretty different levels of, appreciation, I guess you could say, for the game.
Yeah.
So I know the pre-rendered and like Resident Evil and that stuff has that cool pre-rendered look and whatnot. When you play it on Mario, because it's such a cartoony looking game, it feels more clay animation, and I dig that look.
Yeah. I honestly, I think, and this is art adjacent. I think the biggest issue with the art is when they try to do platforming on the isometric, because every art piece is done on an isometric scale, right? Yeah. I mean, like all the blocks are angled but that's not, I mean, when I say it's art adjacent, because there's no problem with the art, but when they made the art and then they added platforming on top of it, it became an issue.
Yeah, anybody who thinks to themselves, we got an isometric game, let's add in some jumping. They should be shot. Like, honestly, this is not the worst of it. I mean, there's worse games out there.
Game, right?
It's a Mario game, but it's isometric.
Platforming game. So I know it's isometric, but it's Mario. You jump. Yeah. I mean, the freaking characters in the game are like, oh, jump like Mario to prove you're Mario, and you jump, and they're like, holy shit, it's you. Like you look just like him, but you got to be able to jump just like. Oh fuck, you jumped! Holy shit! It's part of his moniker. It's part of his thing.
I mean, I don't harbor ill will for including the platform piece. I harbor ill will for making some of those mini games in particular so like hitbox like specific with that weird, like it made it rough, right? Like
that Whomping Goomba mini game can burn in the deepest fires of my ass. That game is awful. And I watched someone play that game and get 100 hits because he was he or she was literally jumping around and hitting everything at the same time. And I went, no, dude, I don't have the time in my life to do that.
I watched you do the Tadpole song one for Tudovsky, who wants you to compose a song so he can rip it off from you, much like Hurt and Nirvana. Anyway, that mini game, I saw you go through it a few times, and I was getting frustrated watching you do that one again and again.
Yeah.
That one's easier to do than the damn bonker or the toad thwomping one.
Yeah.
I guess this starts us in on the mini games. While I've been watching Chard play it, and I do remember this playing it myself. I honestly, every time I did a mini game, I was like, can I get back to the regular game? Can I just get back to the regular game? Because they are platform specific, or they are like, it's just, I feel like they were plugged in and not well done.
So to that though, I'm looking at other Square games, and most of the mini games in other Square games of that era were not that great. I mean, the best maybe Chrono Trigger. Sure. You had the driving mini game, which people don't like, and the drinking game. But there's a lot of mini games that were not so great. Final Fantasy VI, I don't even know if it had mini games really. So
No, I mean, it had them disguised as mini games, but they were more or less like it was still progression shit, like trying to get to Ultros from the Opera House, like trying to get past all the rats and stuff.
right.
They were
Yeah.
disguised as progressional things, but they were still mini games. But
Okay.
I mean, you could go back and do some of them again to like do them quicker or whatever. But I still don't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't call them mini games, but they could be considered as such.
I mean, it's no triple triad, but I mean, it's the Super Nintendo, and it's an
It's
RPG.
no root beer drinking contest.
No, but there's the fact that they even have it in there is neat. But yeah, it's not amazing. But there's a lot of things in this game that are neat, like Easter eggs, right? Like there's that. Was that one stage you go behind a curtain and you're 8-bit Mario all of a sudden? Stuff like that is really cool.
Mario. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
or the whole like I know this isn't necessarily an Easter egg, but it feels a little Easter eggy to me. But and spoiler alert, sorry people, you're 30 years too late. But like Bowser throwing Mario, that feels a little Easter eggy to me, which is cool.
Right.
I actually love that attack. I love Bowser throwing Mario, and the little Mario doll that gets placed where he is when he's getting thrown, or when Mario's like the scarecrow and Bowser throws the doll. I think it's great. I love that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, there's an attention to detail.
Cool things. Yeah, I don't hate this game. I don't hate this game. I don't love this game, but I absolutely don't. I don't hate this game at all. I've been enjoying it for the most part, but I'm trying to view it through the eyes of somebody who loves Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI and those games and Final Fantasy IV. Like those games will never be bad to me. And 4 on the Super Nintendo, it's, they made better recreations of it, but it's still, it's still one of my favorites. I have nostalgia glasses for that, and I'm pretty sure anybody could play the Super Nintendo version of Final Fantasy IV now today, and they'd be like, "This is pretty bland." But I'm like, "But it's so good," and you're like, "But it's bland and it's easy."
Bad. Yeah,
it's pretty easy. But I still think it's great. So I mean, I get it. I'm trying to see it through that lens, and I'm not seeing it through that lens.
To that point, I never played Earthbound as a kid.
Oh,
I never played Chrono Trigger as a kid.
Same.
And I played Earthbound a couple of years ago, and I'm playing Chrono Trigger, and honestly, they hold up. They hold up. The Golem fight in Chrono Trigger almost pushed me away. It almost did. But otherwise, I've loved that game front to back. And Earthbound, to me, it's my favorite SNES RPG. Like that, and I didn't play that. I didn't play that until like 2 or 3 years ago, and I adored it. So I didn't need nostalgia glasses to enjoy that game, and I don't need nostalgia glasses to enjoy Chrono Trigger. I have nostalgia glasses for my favorite series. I will admit that as an adult, I have nostalgia glasses. Are they good games? Nope. They'll never make my top 100.
I don't think King's Quest 6. I don't think King's Quest 6 belongs anywhere in anybody's top anything, right? But I freaking love that game. And the sword fight at the end, to me, in a point and click game, was epic. Epic. Does it belong anywhere in anybody's top 3? Fucking absolutely not. But I still love that game. And to the point to where I might go back and play it again. But if I play it, am I going to get the same feeling?
I need to clarify. These will be on my top 5. I'm sorry. These will be. Well, at least one of them will be. No, I need to clarify. But I'll never nominate it for the Press B Top 100 because I understand that's nostalgia glasses for me. That's nostalgia glasses for me.
It's a good thing I'm picking King's Quest 6 for the fucking.
Don't we have King's Quest in the list already, or one of them? I thought we did.
We do. We have 5, I think.
Yeah. We have 5. 5 qualifies. I agree.
5 deserves
it. 5
deserves it.
Okay.
6 does not, but 5 does.
So when I look at other role-playing games, Final Fantasy IV, for example, I don't like the game. I really loved it as a kid. Nowadays, I'm not a fan of it. Mostly because when I go back to play it now, I find the combat too grindy, too much combat, and you're just holding the button, hitting fight all the time. Unless it's a boss battle, and then you're using the spells. The reason I think I like this game so much, and we'll get to the story and stuff later on, because I know there's criticisms there. but the combat itself is fun. It's interactive combat. I like the timing attack system where you hit the button and you time the press, you get extra damage. The same thing with defensive. I love that style of combat. I wish other games had that. There's I think Paper Mario might have that still. But like Chrono Trigger, I wish Chrono Trigger stole that idea. I think the idea of interactive combat is really great. Keeps you engaged. I don't find the battles that drawn out. Some of the bosses are a bit long. I'll give you that. But the basic battles I find are really fun. I like several of the characters, not all of them. Like Bowser and Peach and Mario together is hilarious grouping when you think about it. But I like how Peach uses a frying pan and Mario throws a shell and Bowser is just freaking Bowser. I love the way combat feels in this game. I like the special abilities. When I look at Final Fantasy IV, I don't have the same fun in that game. Similar with Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger, to me, the combat just feels great. The double up, team up moves, it just feels like really active, engaging combat. Even Final Fantasy VI, which I love Final Fantasy VI, I don't like the combat in that game, and it's hard for me to go back and play even that game. And I love that game. So to me, the combat in Mario RPG still holds up today. What do you guys think?
Well, I want to point out, Wolf put into chat however long ago, this was like 10, 15 minutes ago. Sometimes those timed hits in combat were BS.
Like, he's right.
Well,
he's right, because I feel like I have the timing down. But I will say this.
Get good, sir. What can I say?
Wow. This come from a man like Circuitelli.
Fantastic
I will
game.
say. Okay. That's like saying my bowel movement was spectacular this morning.
Sometimes they are.
That's true. I guess that holds more weight than it needs to. I will say that with the repetitiveness of the game, right? What I liked what they did in Super Mario, or not Super Mario, in RPGs on the 16-bit system was that they put the enemies on the map. I dug that. That was something about Chrono Trigger I really appreciated. Yep. Even I think Mystic Quest does that, which is not, everybody's favorite Final Fantasy, but they did it. Mario obviously does it. Earthbound did all that stuff. I love that. I like seeing what's there. One of the things that I had a beef with when I was younger, because I'm impatient, is the constantly getting attacked by things I can't see. And I didn't care for that growing up. It was something I kind of grew out of. But when they put that in with Chrono Trigger, because that was kind of the first game that I played that had that in there, I was like, this is fucking cool. So that's one thing I like, that they do that, and they add all your, all the characters from Mario that we all know, all the Koopa Troopas and the Whiz Bones and the Dry Bones and all that stuff. I think the fighting button combination stuff, the timed attacks, I think that's cool. I like that feature. I think that adds a little bit extra because, like Jake says, sometimes you just be playing it and you're just mashing buttons. You're just I'm fighting. Sure. This one you kind of have to pay attention to, because it can really turn the tide of a game or of a fight if you actually pay attention to it. The same thing with the blocking. I think that's really neat. So it gives me a reason to want to pay attention to the fight instead of, all right, I'm gonna fight this guy. I'm just gonna keep hitting fight because I don't want to use my magic points because I'm stingy and do all that stuff. This one actually makes me want to use everything because I can get some good timing. The super jump that you can continuously, hit the guy with, the Geno blaster where you hold down the button and you time it just right and you pull your finger off and it does something big. The Bowser attacks where you rotate the controller. I think that stuff's cool because it adds an extra level of interaction to the game. So I think that holds my attention very well. I think the combat's great. That's one of the things I do love about this is the combat's great. I will say that it feels like a lot of these bosses are damage sponges the deeper you get into the game, and sometimes they take a little bit longer than I feel like they should take. Yeah. And this game doesn't have you can get 999 hit points or 999 hit points, or even in some games 9,999 hit points. So you're really beefing yourself up. I think this thing barely gets to 100, or a little bit over 100 or something. I mean, it goes higher than that, obviously, but you're not going to have
a cap, and I don't remember where it is.
Yeah, it's lower than other games.
30 or something like that.
Yeah,
right. But so you're not doing they're not doing a ton of damage to you, and you're doing just a little bit there or whatever. I don't know. I think it's a cool aspect. I like the fighting. I do like the claymation graphics and the fighting. I like the the way that they design the characters so that they're like, looking up at the boss and you can see the enemies looking down at you. I think that's a real cool feature. I did like the side to side fighting in some of the earlier Final Fantasy games, of course, because I like to see the profiles of each character and their pixel art ways. But I think having them stare down with you gives them more depth. So I think it's a cool game.
Okay.
So you go. Well, something positive, Jake. Something positive.
I'm just stunned, really, that you said something nice about a game that I like. This is a rarity.
I actually concur with. I didn't hate this game. I concur with Chard. The one thing I would like to see in this, and it's one of the things. So I agree that adding like the time defense or the different attacks and the different motions and whatever is cool. I would love the thing that I loved about Earthbound is as you leveled, things ran away because they're like, oh shit, they're over my level. They're just going to cream me. And that felt innovative in Earthbound. And I appreciated that about Earthbound. So if you were to like mash everything together, there are aspects of Super Mario RPG, there are aspects of Chrono Trigger, and there are aspects of Earthbound that I'd love to see smashed into one battle system, right?
What I'd like to see from Earthbound is when creatures are lower level than you, you automatically win that fight. That was
or they run away.
Earthbound, right? I freaking love that. You'd hit into something and it'd be like done, and you could keep going. So it's not like I don't have to waste my time with rats in the first level because I'm trying to get to where the story is taking me. And I don't have to do like 800 fights of these goddamn dogs walking the street. You just hit them and you walk on. I'd like to see that introduced in other RPGs. Other than just that. I thought that was really innovative.
Now, if I remember right, they did carry over some of the timed attacks and defense into the Paper Mario series. If I'm remembering,
I think so. I don't think it's as much of a variety as there is in this game,
but it is in there.
But it is there.
But I think that there's definitely like you can hit a button to like lower the damage, as it comes. And so they did carry that forward. And I'm going to say something positive as well. I think that's great in Mario RPG. I think that's great.
I like the mini game attacks. Like I said, I like the special attacks, and you have to do a certain. It's not a sequence of buttons, but you have to press things a certain way or do something on the controller to make the attack work, which they brought over to Paper Mario as well. I think that's a cool thing. I like that. It, like I said, it holds my attention in a fight instead of just being like, if I can do this shit again, I'm just gonna keep pressing this button. It holds my attention and makes me more interested in what's going on. So fighting in this game, A+.
And I know Chard,
and me and one of my favorite games is Phantasy Star 4 on the Genesis. And similar to other JRPGs, you get that combat fatigue. Like, it's a fantastic game, and I love a lot of the combat, but there are certain dungeons where it feels like you're getting an encounter every other step, and it's just aggravating. I never had that problem in Mario RPG. I felt like the battles that are there, it's not too many, and I felt the pacing of the battles is what kind of kept me there. So I really love the combat in Mario RPG. Go ahead, Sinister.
I was going to say, I know, Chard, you said when you were streaming it that you didn't so much like the shared MP. I actually liked the shared MP. So that's another thing I liked from Super Mario RPG. While we're talking positives, is I didn't have to waste one character's move to get another character's MP up or whatever. It was just shared, right? I could just eat the flower, whatever it was that restored it, and it would restore it for everyone. And I appreciated that.
I'll admit, the more I play it, because I've really been playing this a lot on the off time to try and get some things done. I'm starting to appreciate the shared MP points better, because when you, like you said, when you're in a fight, you can have literally one person use a scissor up, as I like to call it,
yes,
and get those points back. Don't sue us, YouTube, but you could use it and it gets your points back, and then Mario could keep using a special attack without him having to waste a turn to do that. I think this game is fairly easy mode. It feels like it's pretty easy mode.
Yes.
For people that are not RPG aficionados. But it's not so easy, before anybody blasts me on this. It's not Mystic Quest level like easy. Like, there is still a challenge in this. But and it brings back all the All the Mario characters we love. Fucking Birdo, Shy Guys, Sniffits, or whatever they're called, Goombas, Chupas. It's got its nostalgia. It's got the Mario stuff with it. I kind of wish I played it earlier. Yeah,
I love the squid. I love the squid.
What are they? Bloopers? Bloopers.
Well, I love the big boss squid. I love the big boss squid. Right?
Oh yeah, the calamari guy. Yeah, he's cool. So I mean, it's got some good stuff in it. I'm not shitting on the game. I promise you, I'm not shitting on the game.
Like I said, it's not a game where I would be like, oh, don't, like, if somebody were to say to me, I'm going to go buy Super Mario RPG on cartridge, I'd be like, cool, enjoy. There are games where I'd be like, you're going to waste your money? Are you sure you want to waste your money? And this isn't one of those, right? Like,
you sure about that?
Okay, so you guys mentioned the characters, right? So the character designs, you like the nostalgia of the characters. We got to talk about that. So one of the reasons why this game has not been ported to future consoles, it's not on the Switch's Nintendo Online, for example. It was not on the Virtual Console, I don't think, or maybe it was. But it's always been more difficult because there are characters in this game that are unique to this game and are owned by Square. Nintendo, of course, owns Mario, but Square owns the unique stuff in this game. So we all love Bowser, Peach, and Mario. How do you guys feel about Mallow, Gino, but also the bad guy in this game, Smithy and his crew of weapons? What do you guys think of those character designs in this game?
You want to go first? You want me? Okay, I'll go first. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I think Mallow's a bitch. He's just a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That's a bitch. I don't care for him. When you first meet him, he's crying. Because he got his green toad money stolen or whatever. He's all right. Gino, they make Gino seem like he's some superhero badass where you're like, I meet Gino and now I'm gonna just tear through everything. And when I played as him, did not feel that way. I did not feel like he was super cool. I didn't feel like he looks like he's throwing black beans at enemies. Like that's his powers. Like he takes a fistful of black beans or black-eyed peas and he just fucking throws them at him. Like, exactly, pocket sand. He's like Raffi, but with black beans. So I don't know. I mean, he's got this cool little laser gun thing that he does, and I guess his arm turns into weapon, like guns later on or whatever. They seem to be cool. I don't know. I did not get the this guy's fucking sick feeling like I did when I got Edgar on my team, or when I picked up Robo, or these guys, or when you get Magus on your team from Chrono Trigger. Like, dude, this guy's the Black Magician. This guy's cool as shit, and he's on my team now. Like, you don't get that boost when you pick up Gino. You're not like, oh, cool, I got this character, he's dope. You're kind of like, this guy kind of sucks. But when you get Bowser, you're like, okay, here we go. Now I got Bowser, that's cool. And then Peach joins you a little bit later, like you said, and everybody was giving me shit because you're like, you don't have the greatest team. You're not playing with the greatest team, Jake.
Well,
but I couldn't get the greatest team because they weren't freaking available yet. Give me the team early. I'll play them right out the gate. You'd never see Mello or freaking Gino ever touch my screen had I had that ability. But anyways, I digress. The basic Mario character's cool. The boss enemies, I like Smithy. I think he's cool. He's the sword with the Grover mouth from, or he looks like Gonzo. He looks like Gonzo, like as a sword. Not the same nose, but you see it. You'll be like, oh fucking yeah, he looks like a Muppet. But I will say there's a hidden character in this game, and I'm going to give this appreciation since we're talking about the enemies. There's a hidden character in this game, and I think its name is XO or X something.
Culex.
It's EXO something. Culex? Is that not even XO? I'm thinking of something totally different.
Yeah, Culex. The Final Fantasy boss.
Culex. Yeah. Yes. So there's this hidden Final Fantasy boss in this game. He's not in any games that I am aware of. I played most of them, but he comes out. His sprite looks like a Final Fantasy enemy. The way he talks is like whatever. And when you get into the fight, it's Final Fantasy IV battle music, and I'm fucking sold. Like, I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm so excited to find the hidden boss and play him. It looks like one of the one of the statues from Final Fantasy VI.
Oh, the gods, yeah.
He looks like one of the gods and goddesses from Final Fantasy VI, which they probably were like, just take him and put an ice skirt on him, give him an extra leg, and that'll be
Make him a little extra purple. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Throw him out there. It's fine.
Fit right in.
But the music is Final Fantasy IV, and I was like, yo, okay. All right, you've won me over. Let's play this game. That's what it took, was a hidden boss with Final Fantasy IV music to get me to go, they're going to fire this bad boy up.
I do like the encounter as well, because the encounter has multiple targets, which is one of my favorite things in RPGs. Chrono Trigger had a lot of that too, where it's more than just hitting the boss. There's other things on the screen to hit.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Gino and Mallow, because here's my take on
Should I take
Gino.
a walk?
Yeah,
this might take a few minutes.
Here's my take on Gino and Mallow. Okay, so you start out, you're Mario, you're a single person party.
Sound like you're gonna be like, you're Mario, you're a single dad, just trying to make it in the world. You're a plumber, 2 kids. You're working on your journeyman's license. You're trying to get the big bucks. Yeah. No. So, I mean, this is like RPGs that start out with a single character. You're always taking on multiple enemies, and you're like, you feel nerfed. You feel like you're struggling. You have an uphill fight. And then in RPGs, you get your first party member, and you're like, okay, I'm starting to get some help. My team doesn't feel as weak. But then there's Super Mario RPG, and they give you Mallow. And half the time you're chasing Mallow, who's fallen over dead. And you're chasing a dead character, trying to keep him alive, because he's your damage sponge, and he's not providing much better, right? And that's Mallow. So the problem is I never felt like my second character in my party had a lot of value. I was like, can I go back to just Mario? And then, to Chard's point, they talk up Gino. Gino's this guy. Oh, Gino's big and strong. And you see him moving through that weird forest corridor or whatever. He's fighting, he's shooting he's throwing his beans, he's doing this, that. And then you get him on your party and you're like, that's it.
Okay, well,
that's all you got.
He does at least like 5 damage to the enemies. This is fine.
You got a third person to do a little bit more.
Yeah,
you just do a little bit better each time.
But he's oversold. So Mallow is a weak character that you're always trying to keep alive, and Gino just cool.
He's your healer too, by the way.
Mallow's your healer.
Fucking healer.
Yeah. He's a great healer.
But he's not even a glass cannon. Like, you're not like, well, at least he's got one ultimate move that kills. No. Even his lightning strike, though it attacks everything, is shit. It doesn't do anything good.
He has a snowman move, I think. I think he's the one with the snowman move. It's actually pretty good.
I'll never see it.
Probably later. Yeah.
Endgame, he's not bad.
As soon as I had Peach and Bowser, Mallow and Gino went on the shelf.
Yeah, they get benched for sure.
Yeah. And so, like, to me, if you have characters, it's funny. We argue about Chrono Trigger, and it's more just a little bit poking the bear.
Yeah.
Every character honestly has value in that game. Every character does.
Except
almost every character.
Except Ayla. No, you're right, Jake. Only Ayla's not right.
Except Robo, but it's okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, see, this is my point, right? Is at least it's arguable. At least it's arguable. Who on this podcast is going to be like, Mallow's amazing and let's keep him in the party?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I do it as a troll, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like, and so Gino has fans though.
I would throw any character in a Chrono Trigger party. Yes, I have my preferred, but I would throw any character in, and they have values in fights. Once you have Peach, why do you have Mallow? Who cares?
I think
once you have
the same
Bowser,
person that does better shit and heals the entire party right off the bat.
Once you have Bowser, why do you care about Gino? Who gives a crap?
So I gotta say, Gino has his fans, and there was that stupid movement for Smash Brothers for years. Like, bring Gino to Smash, bring Gino to Smash. Every time there's a Nintendo Direct, announcement of the expansion pass or DLC fighters, people used to rage when Geno wasn't added. The closest they got is they had costumes for your Miis. There's Mii characters in Smash Brothers, and they added a Geno costume, and that's pretty much all you're going to get. I don't see the appeal with him either. He's just a puppet. He's not a real boy. He shoots lasers, I guess.
I'd rather...
You want a badass puppet? Go play Lies of P, and then get back to me. Then you can play a badass puppet.
You want a badass puppet? You want a badass puppet? Scarecrow Mario in Super Mario RPG.
There you go. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Mallow and Geno, and I'm not really a fan of Smithy and his bad guy crew. There's another. Was it Origami King, which was a decent game, but it seems that Nintendo kind of hamstrings developers when they're making Mario RPG like games and says they can only use certain characters, or at least the original characters in these series aren't that good. Like in Origami King, it's all stationary. It's a stapler and a hole puncher. So like shit like that is the boss enemies, and that's what I feel like in this game. All the bosses or enemies are like swords and shit, and I don't feel they line up very good with the graphic style.
A bow and arrow that like shoots himself.
Yeah, that guy was annoying.
Off screen.
Yeah.
And shuts off your buttons. Like
his dialogue was stupid. I like the fight. Because it though not super complex, it was creative. Exactly. But there's the spear guy fight that I just did not too long ago. It looks like a dragoon or whatever. I thought that was a pretty cool fight too. He had a pretty cool design to him. But the bomb guy, it took me forever to figure out that his stomach was his mouth. And like his face was his nose. Like I was like, what in the hell?
They must have modeled him after me. Because my stomach's my mouth too.
Your stomach is your mouth. Yeah, you can definitely see that. Yeah. You look like the giant from Elden Ring.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the problem that I run into is, and I think they fixed it later on, because I mean, a little bit of a contrary to your point that you made a minute ago. It wasn't until really Origami King that they did hamstring them, because honestly, the Paper Mario games, one of my favorites is the one on Wii, Super Paper Mario, and I felt like that one was a great Mario RPG. And then the ones that are on the portables, right? I mean, those are fantastic front to back. Oh yeah, Bowser's Inside Story, whatever the Dreamland one, the whatever it is. Like, they're great. They're fantastic. Can we get more of those instead of a... Never mind.
Well, so for this one, I wanted to call it the last boss in this game. I know, Richard, you haven't beaten the game yet, but the last boss in this...
Sinistar already said that I was way behind, so it's fine.
So when he assumes his final form, because of course he's going to have a final form, it's a smithing robot is the end boss, and he hammers out his head into different forms. The first form I came across is a tank. His head turns into a tank. Literally, that's the boss. I'm trying to pull it up on YouTube of when he transforms. So the first form, he's got tank head. Fine, you take him down. Then he hammers his head again to a second form, and it's like the Grim Reaper or the Emperor from Star Wars for a head. I gotta pull it up for you guys. It makes no sense. Okay, the final boss of this game is very weird.
If you're listening to this on audio later, and go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@pressb to-cancel, because it's on the screen right now, and it's odd.
Yeah,
if
it's
you
a weird final boss.
It's odd.
Yeah,
it's a good thing I've never played this, and I'm seeing the end boss. That's cool.
I won't spoil the ending for you. Look, so right here, you have the Emperor as his head. Like, this is the end boss. It's a robot body with the Emperor from Star Wars head or Grim Reaper head, and he casts spells. It makes no sense.
His nose?
Yes.
That seems inappropriate for you.
Yeah. Well, except for Mario kicks the shell into his taint and it works out.
I hope that every time he casts lightning on you, he goes, "Do it."
Do it. Let the hate flow through you.
Do it.
It's a weird final boss. So the character designs in this don't hit with me very well. I am curious. I don't know what you guys think. So this game is getting a remake in November. It looks like from the trailer that it's pretty faithful to the style. Maybe a little bit cheapish looking in terms of the graphics, but do you think they're going to replace things like this, like the Grim Reaper for a head robot? or like remove, some of the designs or alter them in a way, or you think they're just going to keep it faithful?
I think there's enough nostalgia attached to this game that if you took away fucking Emperor Taintatine off of this guy's face,
Emperor Dick and Ballsatine,
Emperor Gucciatine, he would people would riot. He'd be like, that's not his second form. It's supposed to be fucking Dick and Balls Emperor from Star Wars.
That's
I can definitely see through. Yeah, that's not my Smithy.
Do we know who's doing the remake?
Nintendo, I think, has a contractor doing it with the blessing of Square, and Nintendo's watching it, I believe is what it was. Square doesn't make games anymore. Really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think honestly, if anything, it's gonna be like a lot of the modern remakes where the only real differences are going to be additive, right? I mean, I think that there's going to be some paint slapped on it, probably some prettified graphics, and then maybe they'll throw in some additionals, right? But I don't think that they can take anything away without actually hurting the audience, right?
So why I'm worried about it, and I bring it up, is that they recently did on Switch Mario Party Superstar, which was basically a Mario Party, the second one on the Switch, and they took a bunch of the boards from other classic Mario Party games, if you can call them that. So one from the N64 or GameCube one, and kind of remastered them for the Switch. The game is fun. I love that game, but the graphic style is not the greatest. It feels like they could do more. It reminds me of it's like they had an asset library of Mario assets, and they just used that. And that's what I feel like when I saw the trailer of Mario RPG. It felt like they're using those assets in this. They're not. They are different designs. I looked at it again, but I don't know how great it's going to look. It's not going to be like Link's Awakening had a remake on Switch. Say what you want about the performance, but the graphic style of it looks really cool and is dramatically different than the original Game Boy game.
Huge improvement. Yeah.
And it looks great. This is not going to be that, and I'm kind of sad to see that they're not doing more with the graphical style, because this on the Super Nintendo, that pre-rendered style, it's a lot more busy or complicated looking for the SNES for the time, like the Donkey Kong Country, and I just feel like the Switch is too plain, I guess. But I mean, I've only seen the trailer, so who knows what the final product will be.
I still think they're banking on the nostalgia. They're just like Sinister said, they're gonna put a fresh coat of paint on it, they're gonna slap it and smooth it out, and then they're gonna make everything look better. So you're like, oh, this is what they were trying to achieve. It's the same thing with, I'm gonna go to Final Fantasy for this. The artist that did all the different cool watercolor looking pictures and stuff for each character could not make the characters look the way they wanted to in the Nintendo original version, because he was limited on pixels and shit, right?
Yeah, it was
and now obviously, and now you're in 16, they all look fucking dope. 15, they look cool, they look like the way they look in the books and the original design. So maybe how he wanted them to be depicted didn't come across very well from the 16-bit era. Now he can make them look however he wanted them to look, and people will be like, oh, that's so cool looking, but it's still the same whistle and the same fucking steel drum music when you're walking around Tadpole Island and you want to stick a pencil in your ear because you've literally heard it for the last 16 goddamn minutes and you're over it.
I do got to say that Mario music, especially in modern times, I'm not a huge fan of. Like, they did the new Mario Brothers 2D games on Wii U and Switch, and they keep doing this like the wah wah. So when the music is going on, there's like wah wah, and the flowers all dance to the tune. I hate that. I don't like it. I don't mind whimsy. That's a tad too much whimsy and cuteness for a game, personally. And I feel like that's what's going to be like a Mario RPG.
It's not Ice Climbers whimsy. God damn it.
Excuse me, whimsy. I did not look for you today. I'm not here for whimsy.
If I'm not getting lifted by two balloons, it isn't whimsy enough. God damn it.
I don't know. Well, the new game is called Mario Brothers Wonder, so I mean, you know what you're going to get with that one.
Yeah. So I want to talk about, because I think I heard that the expected price on this is $30.
Okay.
On the remake. I think I heard that. Now,
I'd believe that. I would believe it.
Well, I do. I believe it as well.
It's like $80 on the Super Nintendo, though. When it first came out.
Yeah.
But I also I feel like they aren't going to change enough for it to be like, look at indie games going for 20, right? And honestly, I feel like they're probably going to have a lot more value than what has changed. Now, if you're getting this game for the first time and you're playing it for the first time, sure, $30 is great. But if we're talking about Nintendo selling their IP for member berries, I still
I'm
feel
telling
like
you.
it's a little
But I mean,
high.
look
I think it's
look at what a new game costs for Nintendo. I mean, Tears of
know.
the Kingdom was like what, 69, 79 bucks
$70,
when it first came out, US dollars. I mean, but then they were like, "Oh, we should probably lower it." And oh, everybody, Breath of the Wild's on sale right now for $52. Get
Well,
bit, dude.
That's Nintendo though, man.
Sales,
Yeah.
Nintendo
I
sales
know.
are not sales. They are not
I
sales.
get it. I get it. But
They're here. We're throwing you a bone.
right.
Yeah.
Their version of a $10 game for member berries is $30. That's
Yeah.
oh, people will spend $30 for nostalgia. Fucking easy peasy lemon squeezy. They'll do that. Yeah,
I struggle
and they
with
will.
that. I
And it
struggle
shit
with
will
that.
sell. It will sell. It'll sell like freaking hotcakes. How many people have told me you should play Mario GB? I really think you'd like Mario GB. You should play Mario GB. So we're playing it. Those people are all going to buy it if they have a Switch. All of them. And there's easily 20 goddamn people that I know that will gladly spend $30 and be like, "Oh, it's only $29.99." Hell yeah, I'm picking that up.
So I didn't hear that it was a budget title for Nintendo, and I say budget loosely. If it is, then I am really worried about the quality of this remaster. Like, yes, the graphics are brand new, but I don't need anything added to the game. I don't really necessarily need anything new. But if it's a budget title, then they're probably not going to put in all the polish and all the enhancements that you'd want from a remaster, unfortunately.
Shit. Okay. Eurogamer says it's going to be, if they're right, they say it's going to be 60 US dollars.
That's a full price game.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
What?
Fuck no.
Absolutely not. My nostalgia is not $60. Sorry, I wouldn't even buy Chrono Trigger, remake a Chrono Trigger for $60.
I look at like Sea of Stars is coming out in August, I think, and that's the guys who did the Messenger, and basically it's their reimagining of basically the version of what a Chrono Trigger game could be in 2023. I am so hyped.
Well, the guy that did the musical composer that did both Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger did the music for Sea of Stars.
Well, some of it, not all of it, but yeah. So that game is not a full price game. And that's going to be, I think, to me, look 10 times better than Mario RPG Remaster. So
Nintendo Store, Nintendo actual store pre-order, $60.
That's gross.
Yeah.
That's gross.
No.
Well,
just no.
We'll see what the reviews are like, but I don't have high hopes for the remaster, to be honest with you. I'll play it when it's on sale.
This is I was having this discussion with my brother today. Like, Nintendo is the king of, we know the member berries are going to win, and we're going to bilk our customers. We're going to mistreat our customers, and they're going to love it.
Yep.
That's probably an episode in itself, because I don't necessarily agree with all of that. Do they exploit their audience? Nintendo. Yes. But some games they've been like Mario, Metroid Dread, fantastic. Tears of the Kingdom is a top 3 Zelda game for me. I know people disagree with that, but it's an amazing Zelda game.
I really like paying so that I can put my backup somewhere other than on my Switch. I think it's great.
All right. That's another argument for
Nintendo.
Go Nintendo.
Yeah, that's definitely another argument.
I think that's all I got on Mario RPG. I mean, I think I like this game quite a bit. Is it a better than Chrono Trigger? No. Is it better than Secret of Mana? Yes. I think we did brackets on this before. No. You guys voted wrong.
Disagree.
But that's fine.
Absolutely disagree.
But I think it's like IGN.
How would you say this is better than Secret of Mana? I don't
understand. IGN on their top 100 SNES games has this as number 10, and I think that's fair. Like, it's up there on SNES games. I think it's a pretty great game.
IGN.
Well, that's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna say it because you guys think I absolutely hate this game. I'm gonna say it. You know what?
I absolutely hate this game.
People should play it. People should play it.
Yeah.
Should they? No. Should they play it for $60? No.
No.
But you know what? Not. They should play it. They should. And you know what? If you give up like I do and you don't like it, cool. But if you love it, awesome. By all means.
It's cute. It's a fun, cute game. It's fun. I've been having fun with it. I've gotten ragey at it with the mini games because you have some extra jumping and stupid. But that's the only thing about it that's really, I mean, other than the music being slightly annoying or repetitive, not annoying, but repetitive, I The isometric jumping is the worst part of this game. Everything else that we've played up to this point has kept me wanting to play it. I still want to play it. I want to go. We're going to play it tomorrow. So it's not terrible.
I know that like it's a Mario game, so I can't expect that much. But I mean, honestly, the story is soft. The story is
but it's
you're
Mario.
not wrong.
It's not going to be deep.
Yeah.
It's not going to be deep. It's fucking Mario.
But
exactly. It's fucking Mario. It's not going to be deep. It's only get so much from a Mario game.
I do expect when they slap an RPG in the title, I want an RPG like story, right?
I get it. But I mean, it's Mario.
This is a platforming story that they converted into an RPG.
Right.
Cool. It's also not long.
I gave Final Fantasy Tactics like 3 hours and I dumped that shit hard. I'm still playing this, so I enjoyed. So.
But that's a hidden gem.
It's hidden in my garbage. I swear it's hidden.
Tactics is not that bad.
It's over there with Ice Climbers.
Terrible. Awful game.
All right, guys. I think that's it for Mario RPG. Yeah. I'd be very cautious of the remaster that comes in November. I would definitely look at the reviews, but I would definitely play the classic one. And like Sinister said, if you don't like it, you'll know within 20 minutes that you don't like it. But I think the combat is worth experiencing for yourself to see that, because it is carried over in some of the other games, other RPGs like Paper Mario and whatnot. All right, so wrapping up Mario RPG. Well worth playing. We do have something. We got some business we got to attend to. We got the Press B Top 100, which I know my co-hosts have picked their entries for this week. But I will go first because I love my game so much. And I'm going to go with...
I might have a vetoable one today.
Ooh, we haven't had that yet. I'm going to go with Arcanum for the PC. It's released by Sierra. I want to say this was 2001. I could be wrong, but it's definitely within our deadline. Sierra. Arcanum is it the best PC RPG out there mechanically? No. But the world, the characters, and the story is really fantastic. And I don't think a lot of people have played Arcanum, especially not since it came out. I would call this one a hidden gem, to be honest with you. This was done by, it was Sierra or Troika. I'm confusing the two. It's published by one, developed by the other. But it's of Steamworks and Arcana. It is a game where when you build your character, there's multiple fantasy races from orcs and ogres to elves to dwarves, hobbits, and all that. But you can either be a steampunk character with steam tech, like explosives and steam-powered armor and guns and flintlock pistols, or you can go into magic, and there's various schools of magic that all do various things. Or you can just go completely neutral and just be a physical character and a stealthy character, a lockpicker. The character building in this game was so good, and when this first came out, I played through it, I think 4 times back to back, different characters, different styles. This is from an era of RPGs, especially on the PC, where you could go through the game good, evil. There's always a stupid playthrough if you have the low intelligence, and characters take advantage of you. You could go through it non-combative. There's charisma checks to get through a lot of combat encounters. In fact, this is one of the few games where the end boss, you don't have to fight it. You can talk your way through it. And it's the kind of game that it was. And that's fairly unique. That's a CRPG thing, and that was, I feel, is more from that late 90s, early 2000s era of PC gaming and PC RPGs that you didn't really see on console very much. I love Arcanum. The music, it's all string instruments. Just do yourself a favor, go listen to the OST of Arcanum on YouTube. It's such a great soundtrack. And we never got a sequel. The game did not review very well, mostly because the combat itself is a little bit clunky. This is a game that probably could have used a few months of extra polish. But it's such a fun tactics role-playing game to play with some awesome voice work, just fantastic voice work, such great world building. I really hope you guys check out Arcanum. I think it belongs in the top 100.
It's a good call. I like Arcanum a lot.
Who wants to go next?
I guess I can.
Okay.
So, Bard's Tale. I'm kidding.
What's that? It's selling out? Yep.
Mario RPG.
I just said it wasn't going to end up on the top 100. No, honestly, I looked. We do already have one of the series in the list, but I think the Nintendo 64 isn't getting as much joy as it should in our top 100 list, and so my nomination is Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
That's not on there. Oh, no. Yeah, we need that on there. We'd be assholes if we didn't put that on that list for sure.
I mean,
change your mind then.
It was fantastic front to back. I mean, it was. Yeah. I think that it added the. Was it the first third person? Or
like 3D
or it came
Zelda?
before Majora's Mask.
It was the first 3D Zelda.
Yeah,
but it wasn't
3D Zelda.
That's what I meant. Person.
That's what I meant was 3D Zelda, right? And so, but it had that Zelda progression where you like get arrows and now I can do this new thing, and you get bombs and I can do this next thing, and it had that progression on top of being that 3D world, and I thought it was great. Plus, you can throw chickens, so I mean, I'm right. I mean,
yeah.
So, no, I think everybody knows, Ocarina of Time, or most people do. But I think the Nintendo 64 isn't getting as much joy as it should, because it did have some great titles. So yeah, Ocarina of Time for me.
Solid pick. Yeah.
Wow. I was gonna pick a vetoable one, but you picked Zelda, so I'm not gonna pick the Zelda I was going to pick, because I feel
sorry, dude.
No, that's fine. I feel like we'll be over Zelda'd, even though I was gonna pick it for the NES version, but not the one you think. Because the more I play that Zelda that is going to be held off, the more I appreciate it. So, but we'll hold off on that one. I'm going with one of our fan favorites. We actually did an episode of this not too long ago, and I looked through the list and it's not on here, and it surprises me. Star Fox 64.
Oh, that should be on there too. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Star Fox 64 needs to be on this list. Absolutely. Star Fox 64 took what the Super Nintendo version did, made the frames better, because we know how much Jake loves frame rate, and spruced it up and made it into a badass flight simulator type game with all kinds of different cool effects. We did a whole episode about this not too long ago, and much appreciated. This game is a great game, banger soundtrack, fun game to play. I know Jeff is probably freaking out about it right now. I can't see his chat, but I'm sure he's losing his mind on it. Star Fox 64 definitely needs to be in the top 100. So I nominate that for the top 100 this week.
Also brought the Rumble Pack to the N64, which is an interesting add-on. So, I mean, that's standard on controls nowadays, but that was brand new back then. So it's interesting.
Right. Sinistar had mentioned that the 64 wasn't getting any love, so I went and looked. I was like, there's no way this game's not on here yet. And sure shit, it wasn't on there. And I was like,
how many games we got on there right now? Are we at halfway through?
We are at 53.
We're gonna have to internally look at the list, make sure we're not missing any big games. Right. Yeah. So
we're gonna start getting into veto territory, where we're gonna be like, this is my opinion on this game, and you're gonna be like, no, absolutely not.
I haven't even mentioned Circus Charlie, and it's very hard to restrain myself. I'll say that now.
Vetoed.
All right.
If you nominate Circus Charlie, I'm nominating Ice Climbers. Let's go.
Nobody likes Ice Climbers. No, nobody. You name one person who likes that game.
I'm rotating in fucking Robo by himself as top 100.
Have we done an episode on worst sidekicks? I think we need to do that one. And I'm going to put Robo and Tails in the same fucking bracket.
And Ayla. Tails is amazing. I don't know what your issue is with Tails.
He's a stone cold murderer. Anyway, we should episode
that. You could get good.
When we did the Black Box Blitz, I really wanted to like Ice Climbers, because when I spun it up, I was like, this looks like a fun climbing platformer. And then I played
the man that says fuck every ice level ever.
Well, right. I was looking forward to a good ice level.
The whole game is an ice level. Yeah. That's okay. All right, guys. Is there anything you guys want to shout out? What we're playing, or somebody you've been watching? I got one if you guys want to.
I was going to finish RPG, but since you guys spoiled the rest of the game for me, I guess I'm not going to finish it. But I wanted to fight Emperor Palpatine's taint, but apparently that's not on my list of things to do tonight.
I want to shout out. I've been playing. I play on Wednesdays and Sundays. I play co-op games with family and friends, and we've been playing a game we didn't realize it'd come out years ago. The graphics are not good, but it's called Pulsar Lost Colony, and it's a Star Trek ship simulator, and it's a blast. Everybody takes a role. There's 5 roles. There's the science officers, there's the pilot, there's the weapons specialist, and I think it's well worth everybody trying it out. It's if you're into co-op games and you want a fun co-op game.
Yeah, I'd like to play that with you guys. Actually, I know you mentioned this before off stream, and
Yeah.
that looks like a fun ass game to play with friends. I'd love to try that with you guys.
Yeah.
I found a game on, well, my wife sent me a game on TikTok called Surrounded, and it's a 6-player group spooky game, and it finally got its early access release today. So guess who downloaded that shit? That's right, me and Sinistar, among our other group of people. Tomorrow night, we are going to do its maiden voyage and try it out. So if you guys want to see us play something we've never played before, we have no idea what the hell we're doing. And I played about 5 minutes of it before this. I think Sinistar and I might get on and try some of the technical stuff on it and make sure how it works after we're done tonight. Come and check it out, because the map is huge. It's big. That's what she said, but it's huge. It's large. And we're gonna get lost as hell, and we're gonna get turned around, and it could very well be one of the most like stressful games that we end up playing. Also, Sinistar, Q4 for Devour, new map coming out called the Victorian Hotel. Very excited.
I may have to give up some time from Starfield. We'll see.
Let's do it.
Are you streaming
That's
that
all
on
we got. That's all I got.
Twitch, Chard?
Oh yeah.
Or
I will be streaming it on Twitch. Yeah, we'll be on Twitch tomorrow night playing that. I'll be back tomorrow with some Mario RPG. I bought a house. Everybody. Well, I'm buying a house. I'm in the middle of buying a house. I'm in escrow. So
Both of you are.
yeah, well, yeah. I'm gonna be spotty at best for the next at least the month of August, because I'm gonna be shutting all this shit down. Now, my wonderful wife, being the most supportive creature in the planet, said that once we get our keys and we can get in, we're going to paint my office first, the colors I want, so that way I can get my computer in there and set up immediately before we even get the bed and shit set up. So that's like our number one priority, is to get this thing back up and running. So I'll be taking a short sporadic break. I'll be back from streaming into this and everything. It's not going to be obviously for everything. It's just until I can get everything launched back up. So August, I will be in and out in the episodes. I'll phone in if I have to. I'll call in like one of those, first time caller, long time listener.
We'll have the little like logo of you with like the little pulsating speaker thing, like they did on the
as long as it sounds like
right?
As long as it sounds like I'm on a speakerphone,
yeah,
and you can't understand half of the words I'm saying. That's all I want. Be perfect.
I'm in.
Yeah, I'd do that. I'd be down for that.
Yes,
so for
let's
me,
congratulate Jake.
Yeah.
Let's congratulate Jake.
I also bought a
Jake
house, as is the style of the time. So a day before Canada raised their interest rates, we snuck a buying a house in. It's been, Char will attest to this, it's been a pain in the ass trying to find a house in this market, and I'm glad we found one. So our closing day is end of August, so September is when I'm moving. So hopefully I won't miss too much, but I'll be working with the whole crew to have some episodes ready to go for everybody. So yeah, give me a busy fall, summer, for end of summer. So for sure.
That said, the way that YouTube does things, this is for our YouTube viewers. The way that YouTube does things, some weeks we may be in the live tab, and some weeks we may be in the video tab, because we will be banking some for the weeks that we have things going on.
Yeah. In terms of something to promote, I do have something to shout out. So once in a while, I do voiceovers for the Retrogaming show. It's there's a streamer by the name of Fortifier. He's on Twitch. He's also on YouTube, and he does a lot of research on various topics from the retro gaming history. The one I just did a voiceover for with a guy named Tesseract was about the history of Codemasters. Really interesting story. That's a company started by 2 kids, managed by their dad, and eventually moved their way up to Codemasters. And they're the guys who started with the game, made the Game Genie, the whole 9 yards. They published Chimerica Games, so Big Nose the Caveman, Micro Machines, like really interesting stuff. So check out Fortifier on YouTube. His latest episode of the Retrogaming Show. It's a fun time. It's really, I'm always in awe with the research this guy does on some of this retro history stuff. I wish I could do some of that stuff. So check that out. Otherwise, I've been playing Diablo 4 on an arcade stick. It's not good. I kind of want to do an episode on Diablo 4, but I don't think anybody else is going to want to play this fucking trash fire. But I can't stop playing. So I'm just going to say that the inventory, the
You're
item.
the first person to talk. any kind of negativity.
Really?
About Diablo.
So in like 3 seconds, my review.
Even Lord Optic has nothing but nice things to say.
Really? The story is boring. It's spread out all over the place. The items, like the stats, like it's not like it feels like it's the style of Diablo 2, which is great, but the items are boring. And they're releasing the season 1's coming out. They're going to do what Path of Exile does with new seasons. And season 1's thing is this malignant heart items that boost abilities. But they're so generic. There's the offensive malignant heart. There's the defensive one, the utility one. They're literally called that. And it's like they're taking Diablo, and it's like they gave it to a group of teenagers who are homebrewing their own D&D campaigns and classes and said, here, balance this shit. And they overbalanced it to this bland gruel of an RPG system. The only reason I'm still playing it, honestly, is because I can play it with an arcade stick. As stupid as it is, it doesn't hurt my hands, and it's just mindless entertainment, I guess. But it's bad. It's bad.
If I wasn't giving money to Bobby Kotick, I would join you.
Yeah.
But
well,
I can't stomach giving Bobby Kotick any money.
Maybe the merger goes through and they'll throw it on Game Pass. Maybe we can hope for that and check it out in a year. But
there we go.
That's the way to do it. All right, guys. That's a great show. All right. So I think this has been Press B to Cancel. If you enjoy the show, please drop a like or a review on your favorite podcast app, or check our website, pressbtocancel.com. Feel free to hit us up on Discord. We have a lot of great folks there. And as always, have a great week.